Good evening, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 24 minutes past 6. A bit earlier this evening, I want to get this up and I'm going to go for 2 pints and get back and watch the NFL. First match is on at 8 o'clock, so hope to be back for that. The Chiefs won last night and my heart went into my mouth when I see the defensive man falling on the leg of Patrick Mahomes, the superstar of the Kansas City Chiefs. And I thought that was it. I thought he could have broken his leg. He's a tough cookie though, Mahomes. But it's a great drive from the substitute quarterback, and he's 37 years of age, to go the length of the pitch, 98 yards, to get a touchdown to settle them down. And it was a tight second half. They had a couple errors and we got a bit of luck. But we're into the AFC final next weekend now. It'll be either at home if it's against the Bengals, or it'll be in Atlanta if it's against the Bills, neutral venue. There was a match called off there a few weeks ago when the footballer got hurted, or a heart attack, or whatever happened to him that time. So anyway, I had a good old day today. Made money. 3 bus horses winning. Fakir Dudery was the first one, won well. He was lucky, but he was coming with the challenge, and he always leaves it late. But he probably would have been as a tight enough to get up. But we needed a bit of luck. But there was a few times there in the past few months that our luck went against us. So it has happened a few times lately with swings and roundabouts. It always levels out. Embassy Gardens was very, very impressive. I got a bit of 33s today for the Albert Bartlett. It's into 9s. It was chalked up at 12s, I think, straight away with 365. But he's an out and out stayer, and I think that'll be a national hunt chaser next year. They'll be giving out about him, some of them, but I think the farther he goes, the better he gets. But Sean Mulryan or a scammer man, so we'll be cheering him on in the Albert Bartlett. And Hey Johnny, it was early money for him, I was telling you last night, and he done the business for us. That's a couple of times he has won for us. Liberated Lad, the risk was never ran on the surface before. I know, was it the run too quick coming back from winning the other day? But a bit disappointed with him. But he would have been I think with SPs there today, it was about a 13-1 treble. But if he had, you'd have the 4 trebles, you'd have 3 more trebles to put into a right bet. So you can do that, you see, with smaller prices. I know there was a popular double today. I got a few texts or WhatsApp booms from the done Hey Johnny and Fakir. So anyway, we have a couple for tomorrow. We'll have to keep it lit. There's a 3 o'clock at Ffos. It's a 2-mile chase. That Tour de Vesse is favourite, but it is only one run in one chase. It was third to Bill Baxter. The second favourite, Prime Pretender, has run in 4 chases, 4 seconds. But I thought Mongol Emperor, now there's a bit of money for him, I see, because I looked at the betting earlier. But this one, pint to pint for Andy Slattery back in 2020. You can see it was sort of highly tried when it started off, first running against Dusart, Third Time Lucky, and Newell Victus Demopoulos. And it surprisingly only got not surprisingly, went his best affair, but he only got a mark of 107. But that's why it was a bit lenient at the time, I thought. He won a couple of races then off 1-7, 1-14. Ran in 3 more races then last year, but he has 3 chase runs, but the last one was in a class 3. And there were decent horses that he was up against there. Gamma Ray was won well, and Gaelic not available. I thought with the long stretch in Ffos last because it has been a point-to-point winner. If the step up and I thought a step up and trip would suit this horse more so, but they're going with it again. And Tom Scudamore is up tomorrow, and he rides fairly well for Mulholland. And Mulholland is going not too bad. Three out of 10 in the last 14 days. Then in the 3:10 at Southwell, it's a mile 6. There's the horse there, Victory March. It's going for, I think it's 4 out of 5, is it? Yeah, 63, 66, 71. It ran off 80. But water always finds its own level. And I thought Temporise, who people would have seen running lately perhaps, but this lad, very rarely you see, I'll show you, he only started running last July. This was his maiden first time out. Now he's at the back of the pack. Or he's second last, I think, actually, in this clip. But he runs on well.
Pushed along a shining moon, and then there's a growing gap back to Harmonic, who's been eased down as they pass the 3 now. They swing towards the home straight, Benny Naha Road, with only a neck to spare from Matt Fall, who's ridden up to challenge and comes there to take a hand in proceedings off the final bend. Matt Toob is back in 3rd place as the 2 leaders swing off the final turn. On the right, Benny Naha Road. On the left is Matt Fall, now moving through into 3rd place as they make the run towards the final half furlong is Temporise, and then there's another 2-3 lengths back to Whimsy, and Matt Toob is well beaten off, but Benny Naha Road and Matt Fall now being joined by Temporise, the newcomer, who's finishing strongest of the trio and will make a winning debut under Franny Norton. Temporise got up to...
He beat 11 to 10 favourite there, 14 to 1, so they weren't expecting much of him. Then he's likely enough raced, like he ran in a couple of, which wasn't surprising, 3 2-mile races there, but his last run was at 1.5 miles, and he tried to make it a test of stamina. And we remember the result because the second base note came out and won since. This was a decent race, and he was only collared halfway up the stretch, and he ran on to be 4th.
By 3/4 of
That's him in the lead there.
Protected Guest in 2nd spot. Script Writers in 3rd now, Viola in 4, Mr. Allen and Bass Note both closing in and poised to challenge as they come round the final corner. They've got just over 2 furlongs to run. Temporise being ridden along at the head of affairs as the challengers mass in behind. Protected Guess, Bass Note with a rush round the outside coming to join the leaders. Viola's between them, then Mr. Allen and Script Writer down on the inside. Temporise still a narrow leader from Protected Guess. Bass Note down the middle of the course. Script Writer against the rail, then Viola further back. It's Protected Guest, a narrow lead. Bass Note, Script Writer finishing very fast on the inside. Script Writer and Bass Note.
That was a class 2 actually. We're down to a class 4. He didn't buckle up there when they passed him out. I thought that him at the and I hate that expression, at the prices, because you either like it, a horse, or you don't, regardless of price. I thought that was a bet tomorrow. I thought we could go a 2-point win on that actually. And then we have one in Ffos last. It's a 3-mile. Shot Boy is going for 4 in a row for David Pipe. He doesn't win by much, and that's why the handicapper hasn't got the handle on him yet. But they're paying 5 places in a lot of. I backed this a while ago at 6 to 1, the top weight. 3 runs over hurdles in 2022, early in part of the year. And then, actually, the one in Ffos, this race here, Di Walters owns this horse, and he owns Ffos racecourse. This was, I thought they were out for the win this day. I thought this was last April.
France de Finchaux, but Radentop, responding to his rider's urgings, now comes through to press France de Finchaux off the final bend, to be sure, only a length or so down, and then closing in 4th place, Grange Clare Glory, all 4 in with a chance as they race then towards 3 from home. Radentop, the near side of Prince de Finchaux as they take the 3rd last, and they were in the air together, but getting away from it the quicker fractionally was Radentop, but Prince de Finchaux responds straight away. Then there's 2.5 lengths to Grange Clare Glory moving to 3rd. To be sure is now being ridden, and he's back in 4th place, heading towards the penultimate flight. Radentop serving up a strong challenge to Prince de Finchaux, now pulled out towards the near side. Grange Clare Glory with a determined run. Prince de Finchaux gives way, Radentop takes over, but immediately challenged by Grange Clare Glory, and it's last to first for Grange Clare Glory, who's hit the front approaching the final flight, quickly put 3 lengths between himself and his rival, and he pinged the last, and Grange Clare Glory is 5 lengths clear of Radentop, Prince de Finchaux, and then back in 4th, to be sure. But this will be a second hurdles win for Grange Clare Glory for the informed David Pipe. Fergus Gillard in the saddle, eased down close home, beats Radentop, Prince de...
That was only his 3rd run that time, and the last time he ran it was at 3 miles 2, and they finished in a walking pace to then Fontwell. Back in Trip, I think it'll suit, and I think the track will suit. The owner owns it. Well, he used to own it anyway. I believe he still does. So there's a few newcomers on the bus. Gary Middleton, Mark Lee, Thomas Halliday is recently on it, and Cheltenham 29. Isn't he fairly looking ahead? This is Cheltenham 23 coming up, and Cheltenham 29 is on the bus. So you're all very welcome. And there was a good vibe about the way I done it last night. So I might do that maybe on a Monday night anymore. Maybe not this Monday, but following Mondays. And we'll have Monday night maybe a song night. It'll be like the Hospital's Request used to be on years ago. But there's the 3 for tomorrow, and I'll write them up in the description now, and I'll get out of Dodge and look forward to the 2 games tonight. I probably won't see the second one because I'll be up early in the morning. I fell asleep in the second half last night, but the Eagles were well ahead at the time. Bash the bookies, over and out.